Bless you. Did you bring the wreath? Yes, Daddy, did you bring the Christmas wreath?
What wreath?
Was it the Merry Christmas wreath with the window?
No, I left it at the office.
Is it snowing?
Yeah, it just started.
Well, where's your coat and hat?
Left them at the office.
What's the matter?
Nothing's the matter. Everything's all right.
Come on, Pete, you're a big boy. You can get this star up, way up at the top. There it is, dear. All right, now fill in that little bare spot right there. Isn't it wonderful about Harry? We're famous, George. Bet I had 50 calls today about the parade, the banquet. Your mother's so excited.
Must you keep playing that?
I have to practice it for the party tonight, Daddy.
Mom said we could stay up till midnight and sing Christmas carols.
Can you sing, Daddy?
Better hurry and shave. The families will be here soon.
Family? I don't want the families over here.
Come on out in the kitchen with me while I finish dinner.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Have a hectic day?
Oh, yeah, another big red letter day for the Baileys.
Daddy, the Browns next door have a new car. You should see it.
Oh, what's the matter with our car? Isn't it good enough for you?
Yes, Daddy.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Excuse you for what?
I burped.
All right, tell me you're excused. Now go on upstairs and see if little Zuzu wants anything.
Zuzu, well, what's the matter with Zuzu?
Oh, she's got a cold. She's in bed. Caught it coming home from school. They gave her a flower for a prize, and she didn't want to crush it, so she didn't button up her coat.
What is it, sore throat or what?
Just a cold. The doctor says it's
The
nothing
doctor, was
serious.
the doctor here?
Yes, I called him right away. Said it's nothing to worry
Is she
about.
running a temperature? What is this?
Just a teensy one. 99.6. She'll be all right.
Of course, it's this old house. I don't know why we don't all have pneumonia. The drafty old barn of a place. Might as well be living in a refrigerator. Why do we have to live here in the first place and stay around this measly, crummy old town?
George, what's wrong?
Wrong, everything's wrong. You call this a happy family? Why do we have to have all these kids?
Dad, how do you spell frankincense?
I don't know. Why, ask your mother.
Where are you going?
Going up to see Zeus.
You told me to write a play for tomorrow.
Frankin.
Hi, Daddy.
Well, what happened to you?
Merry Christmas, everybody, and welcome back to Fine Movies, Fine Spirits, where we are returning to Poddersville again to celebrate the movie that started it all, that started this whole podcasting adventure. It's a Wonderful Life. Always, I always got the same two guys with me.
It's a wonderful bonus pod.
It's a wonderful bonus. I have no introductions written. It's a wonderful Christmas Eve because while you're listening to this podcast, I'm spending time with one of our co-hosts. I am over David's house having some baked shrimp and enjoying some
love it.
I'm sure A Christmas Story's on, which goes back to our last episode. And Dave did call and wanted to race me, and I thought maybe I'd challenge him to race on Christmas Eve in front of his house with his entire family watching. You'll have to wait until next time to see if we do that.
Yep.
That's
but
good.
Guys,
That's
we're
good
here
stuff.
to talk your favorite movies. I would say this is your number one. It's definitely your favorite Christmas movie. Might be one of your famous movies.
Who are you talking to?
Both of you.
Both of us? Absolutely.
I think it's my favorite movie.
So
yeah, go ahead.
It's such a warm blanket. It's the best. I'm glad we're talking about it again. So as I said to you gentlemen, you know, I may bring things up that I've already mentioned in past pods that you think about when I watch the
Yes,
movie.
Pod. That's why we call it Poddersville with D's.
So Michael pointed out that was that on YouTube?
Yeah, there were like 3 or 4 YouTube comments.
Couple comments that says it's not Pottersville, P-O-D-D. It's Pottersville with T's. Mikey was very kind and
I was very kind and said, "We're clever.
Dumb,
These are our clever
stupid
puns.
people on the internet."
Listen, if you're like George Bailey that was, contemplating suicide, I'll still say don't do it. But I mean, I kind of get why.
Wow, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Wow, this turned dark already. Yeah. Much like this great movie.
That's why I'm in therapy, though. So I need my.
So how many times have you watched it, Dave?
I watch it every night.
So far.
Not even kidding. I watch it every night.
So do you watch it going to sleep?
I go to every night that I go to bed. If I have even a struggle, if I wake up in the middle of the night, I'll put it on too, just to hear their voices, and it puts me back to sleep. I've watched it.
Michael, I assume you haven't.
I haven't watched it in years.
Yeah, he hasn't watched it.
What the hell?
I watched it. No, I watched it when we kicked off the podcast. I think I watched it when we did our first follow up the following year. Maybe I shouldn't say that because I feel like I have brought. Then when we did everything with Greg and your friend last year, I think I watched Christine. It for that. So I shouldn't say I haven't watched it in years. I haven't watched it this year.
I always implore people that are don't have a good attention span. I'm not saying you, but would you at least watch, like, if you watch the last 45 minutes or whatever, when it's Christmas Eve, when they announce it's Christmas Eve, like, it's just unbelievably entertaining.
The whole movie is unbelievably entertaining.
The whole movie
really
is, but I could see where someone was like, someone like Sean. Actually, he probably wouldn't like he wouldn't like any of it. Who are we kidding?
I did watch part of it recently, so I can make that the gif of George and his mom making out.
Oh yes. I know. I wish
Amazon only had the colorized version. I had to make it black and white.
Oh, jeez.
I don't.
So would you say this is? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The color version, I can't do it.
It's weird. It's just
I can't either.
It's fake.
So where would you put? Would you say this is the second best black and white movie of all time? I mean, you might say it's the best, but
next to Young Frankenstein,
Casablanca.
Wow,
Casablanca's up there. I prefer this movie though over Casablanca.
I prefer this movie over Casablanca.
Yeah, I mean, and what else would you? I mean, Citizen Kane,
Seven Samurai. We should do Seven Samurai.
I still got to watch that. But it's so as you were saying that you go to sleep. I can't watch TV, when I go to sleep. So I'll listen to Christmas music. I'll alternate listen to Christmas music, or
I have I've
been listening to the same audio book for like months because I fall asleep pretty instantly. But what I do now is on my phone, I'll go to Xfinity Stream and just go to my DVR and I'll play movies. I'll play it.
You can listen to them.
I actually played I did play exactly. I did play Daddy's Home 2 without seeing it. I did play Daddy's Home 2 recently and watched and listened to that
on my phone because I don't want the bright light. I'll just turn the phone over. I'll just listen to it.
Yeah,
and just listen to the wonderful bells. The wonderful bells that I mentioned.
In the last movie we did, I forgot to mention Christmas Story started off the same way. Bells. It made me think right away of Wonderful Life.
And the music right away. Absolutely. And so that Christmas playlist that I mentioned last time, thanks to your brother who showed the It's a Wonderful Life soundtrack.
Oh, okay,
So it's funny because I'm like, I wonder what songs it has on there, and it has like George and it has like George and Peter, that just a little.
So it's like the actual score of these moments, or
yes, the score of the score, and then it has like Clarence, but it has this the dark scene at the cemetery.
Is that the scene where the cops just randomly shooting into the downtown?
It's when it's the darkest scene in the movie when George when they see Harry Bailey's gravestone.
Oh,
that's a lie. So it's funny. I watched another movie. Like I said, I've been banging out some Christmas movies. I watched The Shop Around the Corner. My friend Brian had mentioned that.
I've seen that's remade, right?
Which I guess
You've Got Mail, wasn't that You've Got
exactly?
Mail?
Yeah, Brian pointed that out to me, which I will never watch. But it was good. But it was funny seeing. I recognized at least two, and I immediately looked it up. Two actors from It's a Wonderful Life. Mr. Martini was in it, and
wow.
I forget. I think the bank examiner was somebody.
Mr. Martini. Now look, you guys are the experts, but is that the pharmacy?
No.
Oh, that's okay. That's the bar.
That's the bar owner that George, helps.
Mr. Gower slapped the shit out of George.
He sure did.
And honestly, I don't like watching that scene
because he really hits him.
I really don't like it. I try to get through it or fast or just not listen.
It's funny because it really, but the movie really obviously, well, not obviously, but I was going to say my family just randomly quotes it. Like somebody will say something Grace said something to Jess the other day, and she's like, yes, George, like Mr. Gower says that to him. Yes, George. And then Grace has been sitting on the counter a lot. I'm like, Grace, get off the counter. She's like, help me down. And I'm like, help you down. I couldn't help but do the George. The not such great customer service.
Well, you don't like coconuts? Listen,
brainless. Yeah.
That's great.
So, exactly.
That's from the movie.
I was. What?
Oh. You're saying all that stuff, Mike. I think that's when he's got the young girl at the.
Yes. You didn't ask what we were drinking, Michael.
Oh, guys, it is Fine Movies, Fine Spirits. Even though we're in Poddersville, we're still alcoholics. Christopher, what are you drinking? I'm just drinking some neat Jameson. I have a little bit of a cold. It just warms me up, much like this movie. Much like this movie warms me up.
I had 7 Jamesons last weekend with my friends on a Christmas crawl.
So you're taking it lightly. You're taking a night off?
That's rough.
It was rough. Yeah.
He means 2 weeks ago because it's Christmas Eve, everybody.
Yes. I'm drinking eggnog, Mikey, just like you, spiked.
Yes. Or what is mine? Gingerbread cider. Again.
You're a fucking asshole. Why did you bring that with you? I told you not to. No one likes that goddamn shit.
I'm sorry.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, fellas.
No, it's right now. So while people are listening to this right now, Dave and I are enjoying taco dinner. I just beat him in a foot race. I can't wait. I'm making a taco dip. Not yet.
Oh, nice. I love Christmas Eve. I love that just you eat anything. You know what I mean? Like the one holiday, it's just. I agree. My dad's spread is unbelievable, and
yes.
But yeah, traditional.
Hey, please don't say anything about my dad spreading. Please don't.
Sorry, Michael.
My dad's spreads is disgusting.
Dad's spread is. My dad spread out all. I'm just kidding. That's terrible, Michael.
Oh man, the gift that keeps giving.
Yep.
The gift that keeps giving. So, Dave. Have you noticed anything different that we haven't mentioned about?
Yeah. Do you still pick up things, or you just know it by heart? You don't notice it. When's the last time you found something new, or noticed something?
The last time I watched it.
Jesus.
No, I do like to spend more of my time. To be honest, if I'm gonna watch the movie now, I do go to the last half hour a lot because I just love Clarence interaction. I love I love that part. I love the whole sentimental
the Clarence.
Yeah, this would be your life if you weren't alive. This is what besides Mary, poor Mary. Everyone's life would have been.
Well, even as we said, Frank Capra regretted that.
Was that when Mary was like a 30-year-old old maid?
Yeah, how he portrayed her. Mary's the best. I actually came up with the 3 best Mary's greatest deeds. We already, we agree she's the most selfless
Yes.
character, right? So I also noted how selfless. So Peter Bailey, number 2, selfless person. I mean, obviously George was selfless. He did give up the stuff. He bitched about it, but he. But you know who was a great character, really? Not Uncle Billy. I won't lay into him like I do every other year. But Harry was awesome.
Harry Billy's
right?
fantastic.
He was awesome. He flew in a snowstorm, right?
That's pretty selfless.
Just to see his brother. Just to see his brother, right? He didn't care about his own. And he didn't want to. He couldn't help it if he was a genius with what's the word his wife used? He's a genius with research. I think she said.
That's what she said. Research.
He if George kind of George pushed him to do that, take that job. By the way, so should George have been rich? Sam Wainwright told him to invest in the plastic. He said, do you have money, right? He said, you have money. So why didn't George?
Because maybe George was busy trying to build a home for his family. And probably used the scraps for that. He had how many kids?
Please, George was probably saving that money to go on boats and shit like that. He still was a little bit selfish, that one.
I don't think George was selfish at all.
I'm kidding.
Asshole.
He did talk about that, but again, he's no Mary. So Mary's 3 greatest deeds: secretly fixing up the house. Right, it was a huge, beautiful home. Right. Mm-hmm. 2, rallying the troops when George. I mean, obviously, you would expect her to do this, but when George, she boom right into action. And then number 1, giving up her honeymoon money to save the building and loan. Like, without a care in the world.
I think
without night. What's that?
Definitely conceived their first baby that night. That was a romantic night for them.
It was.
Everyone's singing for them. Like
he's like, oh, this really is a wonderful life.
Is that your father?
No, it's George Bailey. That's George Bailey. Mid.
Did you Did you break this out? Mid coitus. Did you break this out like usual, Dave?
I have it.
That's great.
Oh, look at the colorized cover.
I bought one for your dad.
But it's great. I think this is from my dad. I think I took it from his house.
Son of a bitch.
Right now, Bobby's looking for it. Like, where is it?
I had a question.
Even Bobby, the most wonderful thing.
I forget things. In my age, my dad obviously forgets things. I'm kidding. So, my dad actually keeps. I probably mentioned it before. Often talks about when I was like 7 or 8, or maybe younger, when we used to go to midnight mass.
Yeah.
And I was sick. I had a fever, and that was the first time I watched. Apparently, It's a Wonderful Life. My dad stayed home with me.
That's awesome.
And watched It's a Wonderful Life. So,
in the fact, and that's something that you guys will always share, and like that.
Yep.
That's a tough. That's a great thing. It's a great thing.
David,
you know what me and my dad share? A whole lot of nothing.
No, that's not true. You have a lot in common. No. David, have you shown this? I may have asked this before in the past to your son.
My son doesn't like any of this shit. Like my daughter likes it. My daughter likes it, but like it's a routine that I would put it on every Christmas Day morning. And we'd open gifts to that movie, and we'd have like our big stuffed shrimp leftovers that morning.
There ain't gonna be no leftovers.
So,
big stuffed shrimp is so good.
She watched it with me for at least a decade, at least.
Yeah.
Maybe more. She's like, when does the girl's
my
head
kids
spin
will watch
around?
it?
She goes, no, that's the wrong movie, Emily. You're getting. She's still having.
When did
flashbacks.
she take the crucifix so my kids will. It actually made me feel good when I was, Aiden was. This is probably last year. He was saying that doesn't love. Although we are watching, they do like the shows that I have them watch. We're watching Reacher now.
But you make them watch. You can watch this. You can enjoy it.
But I'm like, yeah, you like my taste with it, but you
And
know,
you're gonna watch
a
The
lot of
Wire.
movies they didn't. That'll be soon. A lot of movies they're like, yeah, you know, not great. You know, especially the older movies.
Wrath of
But
Man.
Aiden said last year. Aiden enjoyed that actually. Aiden did say last year, I believe, he's like, I think It's a Wonderful Life's probably the best out of the old movies that I'm not a fan of. Some of them. He's like, I think It's a Wonderful Life is one of my favorite movies. And I was like, that's good, son.
I think
I
as
said,
they
now
get,
let me
Single
go.
tear. Yeah.
I'm not crying at all.
I think as they get older, though, that connection to you will carry on, and they'll
Right.
watch it out of habit or
Yeah.
And they'll be listening to this podcast right now.
So that's that they never do. They never listen to the
No.
podcast, which is probably a good thing. So a movie projector, I showed you the picture. We watched Dumb and Dumber this summer. But I had planned, and I still plan on I hope it snows soon. I'm gonna watch in the yard against the garage. It's a Wonderful Life.
That's
with
awesome.
a fire going outside. Yeah, it'd be good.
With the fire, absolutely. So damn it, what was I gonna say? My friends Brian and Christine, who was on the pod last year,
Yes.
always have a tradition of watching this many times, and I think they mentioned seeing it in the movie theater. I forget where they play, where it plays, but
You know, A
Brian,
Christmas
they-
Story's playing in the
they
movie
play
theater. No, I'm off a week again, but it's playing this
Brian,
week.
hold on, is Brian and Christine a couple?
are they a
together?
couple? Yeah, they're married.
Are they
Brian
married?
and Christine.
I thought you
Kuchar.
said are they
Yeah.
a Christmas couple? Like that's a thing. I'm like, what?
They're a couple.
Sweet high school sweethearts.
Wow.
They're both very dear friends of mine. Tell me that isn't the line that gets you most choked up when he said it's a present from a very dear friend of mine, Dave.
Oh, that
Isn't that the best? And just seeing the writing,
Yes.
I don't know what it is about it.
I saw an angel, and then they put him in a hospital because they think he's lost his mind.
Yeah. Oh, it's like Harry the Giant Rabbit movie that he was in. They're
Oh,
like,
right.
yeah,
I know
sure
what
you
you're
did.
talking about.
Yeah, I never saw that. But I had a question. Bedford Falls, how common is it for there to be a pool under the? Did we mention this last night? Under the gym? Like
That's
pretty
incredible.
nice.
It's the first time I've heard of it, and it's the last time I've heard of it. It's only in Bedford
Pretty
Falls.
nice. That's pretty nice. No small little bumpkin town, right? I mean, you see the movie house and when he runs through at the end, you see pretty nice town. The Bedford, the waterfalls.
Remind me who's the third guy there? Oh, is it Alfalfa or something like that? Or
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's Othello.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I
I
think Mary moved up a little bit from that guy to George.
Yeah, she did. I don't think she was with that guy really. You know what I mean? She was just.
Wasn't,
But
first came over, she wasn't. She was
Yeah.
like,
I love
you gonna
how
go home alone, nerd?
Yeah, I love that guy's friend.
Hey,
the guy's
that's
like,
right. I'm gonna take her home. You're gonna walk home alone, you fucking nerd.
yeah, Jimmy
George.
Stewart, the bully. Jimmy Stewart, bully.
you bought
George Bailey, bully.
that
Get
poor
out
guy-
of here. Yeah.
That poor guy took her to got a suit, right? His mother and father are probably so proud they look so handsome. He picked
So
her
handsome.
up.
He
I
gets
that fucking
son, you're home early. Where's Mary? George Bailey took her away. They
Are you
slapped
kidding?
him.
The father's like, I knew you weren't with Mary.
Yeah.
I knew you were making that
Because
shit
that
up.
makes
I
a
saw
lot
that
of
girl.
sense. That makes all
I
the
could have
sense in the
saw that
world.
a mile away. That George fella, he's something else.
I do like his buddy who's like, just who had the key, and then they like both of them are like, fuck it, and they jump in the water. That is a great scene, right?
Yeah, great scene. I don't think there's a bad scene in this movie.
Yes, George. Nope, there certainly is not. I gotta watch it again.
Well, you could probably go watch it again right now. You're probably gonna. I know Dave is.
Well, I
Well,
certainly am.
It's always on Christmas Eve on NBC
Mhm.
or CBS or whatever.
So what did I probably ranked top 3 scenes, not at the end. George and his dad at dinner. Just such a great scene, right?
When the
Sad.
brothers,
last.
chasing the housekeeper
Yep.
around. Yeah,
Very, yeah.
totally fine.
The beginning scene with Mr. Gower. I don't know why I have this, but just great, right?
I hate that. It sickens me watching him beat the shit out of him.
Of course, but then it's he
Oh,
sees what he
saves him though. He saves his business.
Well,
exactly.
I think the fact that George never squealed on Mr. Gower is pretty
Yes.
great. So yeah,
I think these are just scenes that hit me that I was like, I mean, because the scene, and then number one is the bank run, but obviously the scene that I mentioned in multiple previous years is when he tells off Potter.
That, and my favorite scene is the original ending, where he remembers. I remember what I did with the money. Of course, the Saturday Night Live.
Saturday Night Live version. My kids love it.
That was one of the best SNL catches.
What are we waiting for?
I saw a Reddit post that, speaking of that, it's like, Mr. Potter would have been held responsible, or he totally illegal. He would have got arrested, but people, of course, on the Reddit post are like, George was still going to have to go to jail, or they probably would still shut it down. I'm like, because that much money is like $23,000, and it's just people like go off. People.
Ben, I looked it up.
Yeah, more than that. What was it? 80,000.
Yeah. Fuck those people, right? On Reddit, who gives a fuck about them?
It just shows that how people.
Yes, but we spelled it. We spelled it. What's up?
They might as well go to the bridge and jump off themselves. So they're gonna get that involved in it. Fuck.
There's people on the internet.
We just done like 9 podcasts about this, and you're like getting that involved. That's the point.
It's Christmas. It's Christmas. So isn't it? I've said this for years and decades. It's a strange thing, but I say it to my brothers.
I love you.
Isn't I say, God bless us, everyone. Christmas Eve, when you walk outside, the air feels different than any other day of the year. Yep. You know what I mean? Like it's on the precipice of Christmas. It just the feeling of.
And then the next day, it's so sad because like Christmas Day goes by so fast and it's over.
It is. As I always mentioned, I'm like Oscar Schindler, and
then I get a week and a half
combined with my grandmother saying. So I wish we had another person on the pod, because I had a line prepared saying, they say if you shoot pool with someone, you can come on your podcast. I had that. Dave gets it.
Mikey,
I love that scene.
I'm sure
I
it's
love
clever.
that scene. I love that scene, Mr. Potter. Oh, you shoot pool with someone, you can get a loan. So,
gentlemen, anything else? Anything else you want to say before we wrap up this Poddersville? Until next Poddersville.
It's been a wonderful year. It's a wonderful movie. I should save that line for when we have to name it next year.
Right.
Actually, it could, maybe that's this year. But I said to my kids, gonna do another, It's a Wonderful Life.
Or did he die?
Either way.
He froze.
He's not. I can't even see him.
Oh.
But I said, I think I'm like, it's good. It's a wonderful bonus. And my kids are like, no. So they're trying to come up with other things. But all I have to say
if they can come up with something by Christmas Eve, tell us, and I'll use it. Whatever they come up with, we'll use that.
All right.
And have we decided on what we're doing next? We haven't. It's going to be a surprise.
I mentioned something. I think that was going to be the first movie of the year, but I don't know if we're going to do for something, before New Year's. I don't know.
I don't know. You never know.
Were you going to say I doubt it?
I was going to say I doubt it.
Because we do have a movie that we mentioned that I said was going to possibly be the first another Coen Brothers movie.
Oh.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do. I believe Inside. No. Shit. Wait. No. Oh. I'm the dude.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. So.
Oh. Well,
you can.
We'll edit around that. We'll edit
around that if whether But
we have an idea of what we're going to be doing next time, but we're not ready to announce it. That's going to be a New Year's gift and surprise to everybody.
I just want to say Merry Christmas to you, gentlemen, if Dave is still there.
He's not. Merry Christmas to you,
God
Christopher.
Bless.
Merry Christmas to you, David. We'll pretend you're still here. God bless everyone. And we will see you in 2024.
fans, not experts.